Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first ever Secret Wars Live Kickoff. We are coming to you live from Midtown Comics downtown in New York City. Now, back at New York Comic Con, we announced Secret Wars and gave you our first peek into 2015's mega event from Jonathan Hickman and Esad Ribic. So we are going to peel back a little bit more of the curtain for the first time today. It's going to be big. It will be the biggest comic of 2015, possibly the biggest event Marvel has ever done. And with me today to talk about it are two of our big brains behind Secret Wars. We have first our Senior Vice President and Executive Editor, Tom Brevoort, who has taken a break from... who has taken a break from answering your questions on Tumblr to come here and answer them in real life. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend, the man with the plan, the editor-in-chief, Mr. Axel Alonso. Now, during today's presentation, we encourage you guys to follow along on Twitter using the hashtag Secret Wars Live, and the Marvel team will be answering your questions and interacting with fans and, just letting you know anything you need to know about Secret Wars. So, I wanted to get started with you guys and talk to you. And how does it feel to get here? I mean, we've talked about it internally, but Jonathan Hickman's run on Avengers and New Avengers has really been building the Secret Wars for 4 years or so. So how does it feel, kicking it off and getting close and starting the road to Secret Wars?
Well, it certainly feels nice to be here after whatever it's been, 2.5, 3 years of publishing Avengers and New Avengers. Secret Wars is the culmination of the storyline that Jonathan's been telling, beginning with the first issue of Avengers that he wrote, the first issue of New Avengers that he wrote. And what's actually been kind of exciting, especially over the last month or so, since we moved into the time runs out portion of those books, readers have begun to sort of get a sense of the whole picture and seem to be becoming much more excited about it, which is great. It means that the build-up is working and that we're on the way. But this is something that we've been heading towards literally since the start of, I guess it was Marvel Now. It wasn't even all new Marvel Now. Marvel Now, when we rolled these books out. And so it's great to actually be here and ready to dive into the main event.
Now, was it always planned to be this large, or did it kind of just keep gaining momentum? And it's been sort of in the background through, just off the top of my head, Age of Ultron, Original Sin, Axis, and it just seems to have been percolating and waiting.
Well, when we decided to go ahead and do this, Jonathan had actually talked to me about doing Secret Wars as a separate project even before Avengers. I think even possibly right at the outset of his Fantastic Four run, or even before he'd actually gotten Fantastic Four. It was an idea that he'd had. And so when the time came that he was offered Avengers, we decided this was a place to do that. And all the folks at Marvel, beyond just myself and my friend here, but everybody within the infrastructure of Marvel, all the other divisions and so forth, got excited and got on board and saw the potential of what this thing could be. So it's a lot bigger now than what was originally imagined. And I've said it before, it sounds like typical Stan Lee hyperbole, and there's nothing wrong with typical Stan Lee hyperbole, but it is difficult to imagine something that would be larger in scope, in scale, than what we're doing with Secret Wars. We've never done anything like this ever. And what we're going to do to top it, I don't know. Hopefully that will be somebody else's problem. Although hopefully I will also still be working and gainfully employed.
As Tom said, all the divisions are in line. We've had input from all divisions, so it's the most coordinated event we've ever done. And as everyone knows, we're a big universe, a shared universe, and we've done a few events over the years. Every time we were planning an event, through Axis, Original Sin, AVX, every single time we've done an event, we've always had to be mindful of Secret Wars. And we've had to make decisions based on the fact that we knew Secret Wars was headed our way.
Now, Tom, for those who may not be sort of caught up on Avengers, it's kind of dealing with...
Fiends! Race, run, don't walk to your local Midtown Comics or similar facility in your local neighborhood, or online digitally at the Marvel app, and immediately download all of those issues of Avengers and New Avengers, which are on sale now You can still get them. It is not too late.
It is not. It's not. You've got plenty of time before it starts in May. But for those who might not be familiar with the concept of sort of incursions and the sort of multiversal, for lack of a better word, insanity going on in Avengers and New Avengers, could you sort of tell us a little bit about what that is?
Okay, the crux of the plot line that's been going on in the background of Avengers and very much in the foreground of New Avengers is this. Somewhere in the multiverse, the many parallel universes that exist that make up the Marvel cosmology, some event has happened, and that event has triggered a series of intersections between universes. Situations wherein two parallel universes will intersect at a given point, and that point is always the Earth. And that during that point of intersection, which is called an incursion, within 8 hours, one of a number of things will happen. Either nobody does anything, in which case the two Earths collide, the two universes are wiped out and destroyed, leaving the universe, or the multiverse, two universes smaller than it was, or something happens to eliminate one of the two Earths, in which case the remaining Earth passes through the empty space, and both universes are fine, except one is one Earth fewer than it was when it began. Having become aware of this, the Black Panther reformed the Illuminati, the consortium of the smartest and savviest characters in the Marvel Universe, to try to figure out what to do about it, to try and get to the bottom of what is causing it, and to put a halt to it, if in fact they could. And so far, they can't. So far, they have not, and have progressively been getting backed further and further into a corner in terms of when somebody amongst them is going to have to cross a line in order to safeguard their Earth and their universe against a completely innocent but nonetheless threatening universe that is coming at them.
So it's like Thunderdome. Two
Yes.
universes enter, one universe leaves.
Two Earths go in, one Earth comes out, or none of them come out.
So we knew that Secret Wars was going to be sort of line wide, and we've talked about this a little bit before. And if you could just move on to the next slide, here we have the Ultimate Universe, the Marvel Universe, and then here we have the Ultimate Universe. Now, which one of you guys would like to drop the big bomb on our fans today of what we can expect from Secret Wars?
Let me.
You can do it. You can do it. You can take credit.
You've got. It's really, really simple.
It was all Axel's idea.
If only.
It was the first thing he said coming in, the first day he was editor-in-chief. He said, why don't we...
I said AVX.
Yes, you did. You did. All right.
Two should fight. Anyway, the Ultimate Universe, the Marvel Universe, they're going to smash together. Imagine them as two pizzas. They're going to slap together. You're going to have all new toppings. Some toppings are going to drop off. You're going to yell about some that are missing. You're going to love the new ones that are there. And that is the Marvel Universe moving forward. It's more than just the Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe. It's all the universes you can imagine. That's it. This is it. This is the Marvel Universe moving forward.
Now, Tom, some fans have sort of suspected that as sort of universes were dropping off at Avengers and New Avengers, we might get to a point where it was sort of the last two. Is that kind of where we're headed?
We've been talking about the final incursion for a while, and the final incursion will actually take place. The lead up to it will be in Avengers and New Avengers, the final issues 44 and 33 respectively. But then the actual main event will happen in Secret Wars 1. So the Ultimate Universe and the Marvel Universe will collide, and the heroes of those two worlds will have 8 hours to figure out what to do about it before both universes are destroyed. And they won't. I've ruined Secret Wars 1 for all of you and everybody watching this at home. Hello.
But that's just the first issue.
But that's just the first issue.
There's 7 more.
There are 7 more. You would be astounded.
What's going to happen?
How empty those comics are going to be. Nothing at all going on.
But I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about Battle World. So we've sort of teased Battle World as we get Secret Wars rolling, and now you're saying that the Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe are going to smash together, and now we've got this Battle World thing. So how do those sort of coincide? How does Battle World fit into Secret Wars?
Is this slide to show?
Yeah.
Yeah. Battle World essentially is the detritus that's left over after the destruction of the Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe, and it is the little melting pot in which the new Marvel Universe will be created, will be fermented. that all the bits and pieces and dribs and drabs, all the little sections of Earths that were within those incursion zones, those little areas where it's intersected, all those little pieces have remained, and they will be fused into a single gigantic organism, which is Battleworld, in which various characters will live their lives and contend with this new situation, and will set up all of the building blocks and all of the bedrock of what the new Marvel Universe will be, from that point going forward.
And there will be conflicts and fighting. Imagine that.
Some of them secret.
Fisticuffs will commence.
So Battleworld is sort of the incubator of a new Marvel Universe, you mentioned. So that means that the Marvel Universe is going to be Battleworld as far as we're concerned during Secret Wars.
During, through, and after. Like once you hit Secret Wars 1, there is no Marvel Universe. There is no Ultimate Universe. All there is Battleworld and a whole lot of empty void.
The Marvel Universe is Battleworld, and every world we're going to introduce you to, all of which will be familiar, and we'll have some slides to show this. Every single piece of this world is a building block for the Marvel Universe moving forward. None of these stories are Elseworlds or what-ifs or alternative reality stories. They're not set in the past or the future. They're not set in an alternate reality. They're set in the reality of the Marvel Universe, and all of them will have legs. When the stories will not end and you'll go, well, whew, that's over. All of them will have legs. They will import new things into the Marvel Universe moving forward.
Yeah, literally every book that we're publishing during Secret Wars that's a Secret Wars book contributes to the construction of what the Marvel Universe is going to be.
We have some of them up here, and these were sort of those cryptic teasers that we had rolled out pre-New York Comic Con. Now, so are all these going to be titles during Secret Wars? These are all new realities on Battleworld?
Each one of these represents at least one segment of Battleworld. The Age of Ultron versus Marvel Zombies clearly represents two. All of these represent individual titles. That's not by any stretch of the imagination the full line of what we'll be publishing.
Just the tip of the iceberg, if I'm not mistaken.
Very much so. And as I've been led to understand it by people in the know, we'll be revealing more about some of these other titles and some of these other things over the course of about the next 14 days, 2 weeks.
Expect lots of Secret Wars announcements coming your
and
way.
in case you're curious, if you're an Amazing Spider-Man reader, if you're a Spider-Man fan, this is going to be your book. This is your Spider-Man. Let's say you're a big X-Men fan. There'll be any number of offerings that are your X-Men book. This is the new Marvel Universe. These are the stories that are relevant. These are the heart and the center of the Marvel Universe. During Secret Wars and beyond, we'll be launching new series during Secret Wars and after the Secret Wars event ends.
Now we have a quick little video to cut to, which we had put together, which sort of explains how these teasers sort of coincide with Battleworld that we'll run for you now. And this was sort of the video that we had released post rolling these teasers out. There at the end for all new Marvel. It's almost like we planned this, Tom.
That map is also shows how we're going to be distributing these comics. So if you want a Hulk book, you need to move to the Arctic. And there'll be a complicated a series of exit strategies that you'll be able to get on Marvel.com.
Now, if Battleworld seems like a lot to take in, it's because it is. And if you had noticed, only about half of the countries there were shown. So we haven't even announced half the titles. But for now, we're launching a little bit later today on Marvel.com. Here's a little preview of it as an interactive map of Battleworld. So you'll be able to sort of mouse over any one of the countries. It'll give you sort of a little background on sort of what original Marvel story that country's based on, and it's really perfect for Marvel Unlimited users because right from the map they'll be able to just click and start reading the classic story. Right here they're sort of showing Future Imperfect, and that's going to be launching a little later today on Marvel.com/Secret Wars.
I expect that by the time we get back to the office, the true Marvel fans will have figured all of this out, and there may not even be a need to publish the book.
So, you know, Tom, talking about sort of the getting into it, you know, we've got this map, and there's a lot to take in. So if you guys were going to give sort of a primer of where a fan would want to start to sort of get caught up in time for May's Secret Wars, what would you say?
Well, as it turns out, by a shocking coincidence, May 3rd is Free Comic Book Day, and so for Free Comic Book Day this year, we're going to be doing Secret Wars 0, which is the prologue, the lead-in, all new story by Jonathan and artist Paul Renaud. It's as Chris said, it's a little bit a primer. If you've read nothing within this short little story, you'll kind of be gotten up to speed as to where everything is in the Marvel Universe and the Ultimate Universe heading into Secret Wars 1. And best of all, it will cost you not a dime. So I don't know how more inviting we could make it than that. On top of that, in that self-same issue, we're going to print the Avengers Attack on Titan story that we did for Japan for the first time domestically.
Yeah, first time in the United States.
So for people who are interested in the manga anime side of stuff, we have something for you as well.
And also, I should state that
all the Marvel worlds coming together.
I should state that that Jonathan Hickman's run on Avengers and New Avengers has been mostly collected. The new volume, Time Runs Out, which is a good jumping on point to get caught up for Secret Wars, is available now.
Yeah, it's definitely the ramp up to Secret Wars is the 4 Time Runs Out volumes.
And you can also read most of it on Marvel Unlimited now. Now, so if we can go to the next slide, we showed here, so Alex Ross is going to be doing all 8 covers for Secret Wars, correct?
Alex is doing all of the main covers. Assad is providing covers as well for most of the issues. And as is typical, we will have a bevy of other cover artists doing other things as the whim strikes us.
So you're going to get 8 Alex Ross covers. That's nothing to shake a stick at. But over here, we're showing the cover to number 2 for the first time. Can you guys talk about that a little bit and sort of...
I think you're right in front of it.
Sorry, Axel.
That's all right. Well, there's a whole lot of Thor going on. Beyond that,
wait and see.
Yeah, really wait and see. But very much like the piece Alex did, the original, the promo image that we showed earlier. When we first announced the project. This is a little game of hide and seek among the more longtime Marvel fans, because pretty much every character that's on this, every incarnation of Thor that exists here, comes from somewhere. These weren't just made up characters that were created for this piece. Every one of them comes from some point in Marvel history, and Alex has joined them all together here beautifully into this lovely arrangement for Secret Wars 2.
Now,
Secret Wars 2 is also going to be...
shipping in May, correct?
It is, yes. Both issues shipping in May. And in sort of an odd twist, the second issue is the fat one. It is a gargantuan, oversized issue. While Secret Wars 1 is probably going to be bigger than an ordinary comic, Secret Wars 2 is going to be like the phone book of comics. It will give a full guided tour of the new Battle World and set up everything that you'll need to know. Esad Ribic just turned in the last page of it earlier today.
Oh, what do you know?
And
coincidentally, he must have known.
He must have. Stunningly beautiful work by Esad.
Now, Axel, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the sort of legacy of Secret Wars. Now, when people think of the original Marvel superhero Secret Wars, they often think of, it extending beyond publishing. It was a toy line that launched a comic, and now we've got this comic that's big, and you specifically are working with a lot of other lines of businesses on this. So what's it sort of like to have publishing leading such a big initiative?
Well, for us, it's really a line in demarcation where we see this as putting an end cap to decades of stories and starting a new era. And when you see the scope of the event, you see what we're doing, what we're willing to do. this is a place where we're going to be bringing new pieces onto the board and taking old pieces off. You guys will be yelling and screaming. You'll be loving, hating in an equal measure. If we were to want to resurrect Gwen Stacy, this would be the place to do it, wouldn't it? If you ever wondered what might happen,
or if we wanted, say, 4 Gwen Stacys.
Exactly. If you've ever wondered what might happen if you were to take the Age of Ultron universe and perch it right next to the Marvel Zombies universe, here's your opportunity to see that. So it's a really big moment in time. As I said, we're launching a whole a wealth of new series during the event, both mostly ongoing and also limited. We'll tell you more about that as we go. And then after, we'll have more ongoing series launching. So it's really a real great jumping on point, we think, for new fans.
And I should note, we're working with a lot of licensees for this, right? More so than we have for any sort of other comic events. They're sort of on board with Secret Wars and ready to sort of make some new products that will sort of get fans excited and engaged sort of outside the regular comics audience.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure we can mention. But we have what we can mention.
We have a list of sort of some confirmed people that are helping us out with some Secret Wars stuff. So we've got Hasbro, Upper Deck, Gentle Giant, Funko, Hot Wheels from Mattel, Diamond Select, Mighty Fine, and Mad Engine are all confirmed and on board for Secret Wars products, and these would be featuring sort of characters and concepts. And then also Marvel Games team is working on developing Secret Wars interactive content. We can't really go into details about that, but there will be more to come on that soon. So it's got to be cool to have sort of publishing sort of leading with Secret Wars, and more so than usual. It kind of always feels like we're sort of, not sort of the first thing people think of, and I think having it sort of come back into the comics is great.
True. I mean, the success of Marvel Studios owes to the fact that Kevin and his group are incredibly efficient and canny about making decisions about the source material, deciding they've got decades worth of stories to cull from, and they find the perfect way, they find the perfect story to be told on that small screen for 90 minutes to 2 hours. But it all started with publishing. It all started on the comic book page. Many people will ask, we trying to get locked up with the studios? No, we tell our own stories. This is exactly what we're doing right now. You will be shocked by the chances we're willing to take with this story and beyond.
So that about wraps up everything I had for you guys that I wanted to ask about. But before we sign off, I wanted to ask you if there's sort of one thing that you wanted fans to take away from this about Secret Wars and going into Secret Wars, what would it be?
Well, I think it's Marvel Universe as you know it is done. Ultimate Universe as you know it is done.